All right, sorry we got another late review. I'm going to try and have another one up probably by the end of the night. I'm going to do Spectacular Spider-Man, I think, because that's the next one that I really want to read. It's been having some late days this week, so this week and last week they were late, and I'm probably late again. But anyway, we're talking about Uncanny X-Men number 1. I think this is issue 620. So Uncanny X-Men's been gone for a long time. And as usual, jumping into X-Men, I have no idea what's going on because I feel like you need a PhD in X-Men to really know everything anymore. In fact, things are so confusing, they give you this free book because, you know, we can't just tell it all here. We gotta do this, but at least they tried, right? So this was free at the comic shop. I'm sure it's free online as well. And if you notice, I'm not using my tripod because this is a really thick book. By the way, it's also an $8 book. And how it works is they actually tell a main story, and then in the end, there's like 3 short tales, which I'm not going to talk about because they weren't particularly that good. To be honest, this issue wasn't really that good. It was very mediocre. I would give it a 2.5 out of 3. It's almost good, but not quite bad. It's just there. For an Uncanny X-Men book to come out after so long, I was kind of disappointed because this name has a big meaning to X-Men fans. And here's the thing that I think is hurting the book. 3 writers. And I understand it's a weekly event or whatever, but there's just too many cooks in the kitchen to me. Too many cooks in the kitchen. I think one writer would work. In fact, I would say, why don't you just let... I would be okay with Kelly Thompson writing it because she seems like a big X-Men fan, and her Rogue Gambit stuff was perfect. It was like coming out of the 90s cartoon almost in a lot of ways, which if you read her little like message that she had in the book, she was heavily influenced by that cartoon. And to me, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's just enough to excite like old school X-Men fans to really give the book a boost. Matthew Rosenberg, I don't like. I think his writing is kind of boring. In fact, I'll just say I think his writing sucks. That might be subjective. I hear some people say good things about Punisher, but from what I've seen about it, I didn't care for it. Just get rid of the other 2 and let Kelly Thompson have it. I would give her a fair shake. I think she actually can be a decent writer. And yes, she did write Hawkeye. And she does write West Coast Avengers. But these are things handed to her. You hand somebody something they like, things can change. And for when I saw what she does with Mr. and Mrs. X and Rogue Gambit, she seems to know X-Men enough to do a good job. So I would be okay with that. I don't like Matthew Rosenberg, and I hope to God he does not write the Uncanny ongoing when this is done with this event. But like I said, this is I don't really know what's going on, but I do want to point out one thing. So they give you like Uncanny X-Men 5 here, and I can tell this is going to be muddled up with time travel. I can just tell from the way they're going, and it looks like it's going to say they have the Horsemen of Salvation. So I don't know. It's tough to say where the story is going. Like I said, too many cooks in the kitchen. But one thing that I'm interested in about is you see X-Man is coming back. If you don't know who X-Man is, this free book does a good job of explaining who he is somewhat. X-Man is the alternate universe version of Cable from the Age of Apocalypse, Nate Gray. And he's very powerful. He's extremely powerful. And I'm wondering if they're going to know that when they bring him back. The thing about Nate Gray is he's Cable without the legacy virus. So Cable is super powerful, but the thing is he's like taxing himself and restricting his power because he is constantly fighting the legacy virus. I think that's what it's called, right? It's a virus that's turning his body into a machine. I don't think that's a legacy virus. I can't think of Cable's It doesn't matter. But he's constantly fighting it, so he's always at like half his power. This is him without that virus and fully unleashed. Cable is extremely powerful if he could use all of his power. And that's what X-Man is. So it's kind of cool if they bring him back and they do a good job with him. I love all that old Age of Apocalypse stuff. But this is basically setting up a story. See Multiple Man here. This was actually pretty cool the way it opened. You see you're talking to Jean Grey and Laura comes in and knifes him in the back of the head. I thought that was pretty cool. And we start off with this battle with them fighting in it. This is pretty cool. The art's not bad in this issue. I did like the art. Basically, a lot of people are vanishing. Kitty Pryde vanishes. And they're setting it up. It's a tale that's been told a million times. The government has a virus, like a vaccine to get rid of the X gene. And basically, you know, it's muties and stuff like that going on. Bigots. That's it. It's just setting up a grand story. Angel ends up taking off in the middle of the story. They're setting up this, as you can see, Angel's in here. So, I don't know. It just wasn't worth $8 to me. That's the biggest thing. It just wasn't worth $8. This really is throwing me off, too. Psylocke. That's who that is. Why did they change her back? That was so dumb. You just left her in the hot Asian assassin body. And they took her back to this. I don't even know what's going on there. You can't just pick these X-Men books up and enjoy them anymore, because people that just jump in and out, like they're a mess. They're as bad as the DC universe combined sometimes. So I don't know. It's okay. The coolest thing is Apocalypse shows up. That's the big spoiler. Sorry. He's at the end, but he's captured as well. He ends up showing up at the end here with them. And the Senator, Kitty Pryde, and Apocalypse are all there. I feel like this is tied to X-Men Extinction somehow. Another event going on right now. Event. That's all that's going on with X-Men. So I don't know, maybe because I didn't read X-Men Blue and Gold, I might be lost. I don't know. You need to make these books more accessible. And if you're going to give away a free book to help explain your $8 book, you should do a better job in the free book explaining everything leading up to this event to make me want to care. Now I'm going to keep reading it because I have faith that maybe it will be good. But as far as like picking up this issue, you could probably safely skip this issue. I think it would be safe, and just get the next one. That'll be like $4 and keep going from there. You don't need this issue. You don't really learn anything. They don't really set up anything other than the fact that they have X gene vaccine that they want to give kids to eliminate mutants. That's it. That's all you need to know. So pick up issue 2 maybe. Skip this one. Anyway, check out the links. Follow me over on Stream Me. I'll be streaming over there soon. Also, make sure you check out my Patreon. Throw a like up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this book if you read it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.